So be concise with what it is that's bothering you. Like sum it all up in like 3 sentences.
Okay. In the past, I haven't acknowledged anything higher than me. And because I've been listening to be quiet, an, uh, an urge to do uh, God's will is overcoming me.
What is God's will for you?
I don't know. In my head, I'm capable of a lot. I'm an action kind of person. And I'm listening to know the direction of God's will. And I wrote the book, but now I'm like, okay, I'm not writing the book anymore. What's going to put it on the page, I don't know right now. But I do know it will not be a dream. Not today. Tomorrow's looking pretty good for no drinking. But right now, no drinking. I mean, and my poor sponsor, Mike, I've unloaded to him, and he's like, wow, man.
When people first come into the program, they want to right all the wrongs that they did. They're pretty gung ho about it. They want to get, step 0 to step 12 in a week. They want to get out from underneath. And they have that feeling of, it's possible, I can do it. Which is not a bad thing, because I'm a firm believer it is possible and you can do it. But I drank to escape. A lot of the stuff that I had repressed, didn't want to talk about, feelings of guilt, shame, remorse, fears, all that stuff. That's why I drank. The last thing I wanted to do was to have people get to know me and realize that maybe I wasn't a nice guy. I went out of my way to be something I wasn't. So you brought up the serenity prayer, that, first part of it, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I can't change anything around me. And I can change my physical location, but still there I am. Courage to change the things I can't, which is in me. I can change me, my actions, my perspectives on things, my attitudes on things. But this wasn't an overnight breakage. I spent my entire life breaking shit. So now, I want all this stuff and I want it now, because I don't want to live that way anymore. I don't know how to do that. I want God to direct my thoughts. But I haven't had a relationship with Him of any kind, except for to complain, give Him the middle finger, hurt other people, These are just the realities for me. In Bill's story, it says the price must be paid. I can't go off in one direction my entire life and say, God, teleport me from where I'm at to where you'd have me be. I went way over there. So prayers I made 20 years ago. It's like, okay, you prayed for it 20 years ago. Well, you're way over there, man. Let's start working you back in this direction. And so it's going to take time. And literally, I'm walking with a stranger. So I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to want to do the right thing, but I don't exactly know what that is. I know what it's not, right? I can clearly say that drinking and drugging is not for me. I drank my fill. I drank your fill. Well, that's just the beginning. It says accepting hardships as the pathway to peace. Man, that means I gotta have some hardships along the way. Because I'm not being teleported. And during that time, I want to come across some stuff where it's like, man, what do I do? The book says, pause when agitated or doubtful. Until God gives you some kind of direction. They call it an intuitive thought or action. It does clarify and say you will make mistakes because what you think may be what God's telling you is really your own head. But after a while, you'll start being able to sift through all that shit. And you'll kind of have that gut feeling inside you of, this is more, I think, what God would rather have me do, than what I would have me do. Pausing when agitated or doubtful is wonderful advice. Some people say, count to 10 before you do something. I can make it to like 1 or 2, before I'm ready to do action. I'm willing to bypass all those steps because I want immediate results. I've just celebrated 30 years of smoking. Then on Cinco de Mayo, I said, okay, I'm going to start working on the smoking stuff. And I've cut back a lot. My body is responding to 30 years of smoking. And I'm vaping now. Which everybody says is a little bit better. Okay, I'll take that. But my body hasn't forgotten for 30 years I've been destroying it. This serves its purpose, taking the edge off. Because I've tried to quit smoking before, and I was a raging asshole. Pissed off a lot of people, hurt a lot of people, to the point where they were buying me packs of cigarettes, saying, please go away, go smoke. I had to be willing to do something. Even if I didn't know what it was, I had to be willing to do something. And it says be reasonably happy in this lifetime so I can be supremely happy at the end of it all. What's reasonably happy to me may not be reasonably happy to you. Or maybe they're the same thing, but my perspective is a lot. I'm an alcoholic and addict. I'm a real deal alcoholic and addict. So my perspective could be really jacked up, but I think it's a wonderful idea. Or I may look at your sobriety and say, well, shit, man, I want what you have. Because you seem so calm. You know, you seem more or less peaceful and meditative. You know, those are traits that I have not acquired to be able to just blink of an eye, get into that frame of mind where I'm totally chill and mellow. You know, but you say, well, that's, it's a blessing to you, but you don't know what to do with it. Me, it's foreign to me. I certainly don't know what to do with it. When things are peaceful and serene and everything, man, that's uncomfortable to me. I'm not used to that. I'm used to decades of chaos and insanity, and that's my comfort zone. If there was a problem, there was no problem out there that alcohol couldn't fix. Granted, I'd still have the problem the next day and probably a hangover, and I also have new stuff to work on. I'm going to piss off and hurt somebody I care about. So learning to live a sober life isn't easy. You said you've been doing this since high school. How old are you?
55.
55. So we'll say roughly 40 years of your life. Do the math on it real quick. So that's almost 2/3 of your life has been insane. It's the last 2/3 of your life. Calling up somebody and just saying, hey, we'll see how you're doing. I told you you're going to make that phone call, asking how somebody else is doing. And you can wind up being helpful to them. But this is how we learn. You will make mistakes. You can already chalk that up as a given. But are you going to learn from it? Or are you going to run from it? That's the difference. Sometimes I learn, sometimes I run. Sometimes I just ding-dong it all together. But I got to appreciate the victory that I have, that I'm going to put my head to bed sober tonight. So it doesn't matter how the day worked out. I consider that a wonderful accomplishment, just to do that. Because there are so many years that I couldn't even do that. I don't mean, every other day. I meant I literally had to drink every night. I had to get messed up every single night just to go to bed. One of my biggest motivations for doing that was just to shut my head up so I could rest. Well, I don't have that luxury now of getting loaded to take the edge off. I have to shut my head up. So it's taken me, almost 8 years, of constantly working towards this, to get the stuff out of my head, just so I could sleep. But I'll wake up in the middle of the night sometimes. My head is just racing from the dream I just got out of. But it's easier now. With enough time, enough practice, enough effort on my part during the day, makes my life a little bit easier at night. I work my 4th and 5th steps. I don't have all that garbage sitting in me. I try to the best of my ability to remember to do a 10th step. The continue to take personal inventory, and when we're wrong, promptly admit it. On page 86, it gives you a list of things to do at night to help you sleep. Do I owe an amends? Is there anything that I did that I need to work on right now and call somebody? Is there anything that I'm leaving undone? And if I can say, well, man, pretty much everything's taken care of. I've reached out to the people that I needed to, made amends as they were coming up throughout the course of the day, then I can go to bed knowing, okay, my slate's clean, my side tracks are clean, I'm good. But I'll still have those jacked up dreams where it's like, man, you know, how do you stop yourself from dreaming? You know, they're real now. I can't run from them. You know, I can't control my thoughts in the dream. You know, if I see a flying toaster, it makes perfect sense. But as time goes by, I see less flying toasters. It comes with time, man. You've been working your ass off, and considering when I first met you, and you didn't want to talk to anybody, and you wanted to just be, hidden until you were ready. I've seen what that does to people. That's why I say, hey, come here. Let's get you to meet some people. You know, I wasn't picking on you, man. It's just I seen what happens when people try to hide in the program. They go hide in a bottle because the program's not really a place to go hiding. First step is honesty. You know, hiding is not honest. See, as shitty as it sounds, like you're right where you need to be, right where you're supposed to be. And tonight I went out, had sushi and crawfish, ate by myself. So really the only person I was accountable to was me. Alcohol all over the place. I was able to eat a nice dinner. I'm fat and happy now. I was able to do it sober. Didn't think about drinking, even though I'm sitting there at the bar and, like booze all over the place. I don't care. People sitting all around me getting loaded. I don't care. I just want to enjoy a good dinner. You've been working hard on this, man, and it can be exhausting. And especially since it's all foreign to you and it's all new. How many days you got?
15.
15 days.
Tomorrow I'll have 16.
Yeah. 15 days, man. You know how many people cannot get 15 days? You did it. You already got it. Because, it's, 1 in the morning. So you've already gotten 15 days. When was the last time you had 15 days sober? Not where somebody told you had to be sober. Judicial higher power, familial higher power, job higher power. Where you said, man, I'm going to do this to the best of my ability.
I don't remember the last time. My journey has been a drinking journey until now. And that journey that I'm on now, it's a journey. And I realize that it's a journey. It's not a destination. Like a destination wedding. Not for me. I'm in a journey, and I'm comfortable but uncomfortable because I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't like that. But at the same time, it's a relief because, wow, if I had my way, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd be figuring out how to suppress. I spent 7 years from 2011 to 2015. What is that? That's how many years is that? Four. 2011 to 2015. And I broke up with her 2017, or the fall of the fall of 2017 or the spring of 2018, one of the two. It was not summer, and I drank every night till I passed out. I mean, aside from sex, we drank till we passed out. I spent all of my resources to buy 24 packs because there was two of us.
At least you're polite.
For 7 years. For 7 years, every night, a 24 pack. They knew me at the liquor store by name. They knew what I was coming to get, and I told them to turn down their coolers to make it colder, or I was going to shop somewhere else, and they turned them down. Every night, 24 pack. I went through 1, 2, 3, 4. I went through 4 vehicles in 7 years and drank every day of it. I don't know how I afforded 4 cars, one after the other. Not at the same time. I would just trade them out. I'd just get into another car. Crazy. And now the journey is different, It's like unwritten. And it's a good feeling, but at the same time, it's like, wow. Either I could fuck this up, or I could hang on with my fingertips and go for the ride, or I got to participate in some form or fashion and make this meaningful. Because I always am telling people, you get out of it what you put into it. School is a good example of that. I went and got my bachelor's degree. I was like, well, fuck. Drank through a divorce, and managed to get a bachelor's degree. I was a highly functioning drinker, because, fuck, I don't know how I could have done it. I'm surprised I was able to get a divorce. I didn't give a fuck what she thought. And I divorced her. I just was like, fuck it, get in the way of my drinking. She was telling me I was drinking whiskey and I was different and I was mean. So I quit drinking whiskey and started drinking beer. Then she started ragging on me about that. I had to keep it out in the garage. And in Alaska, shit freezes. I had to get me a little refrigerator out there to keep my beer from freezing, but stay cold. I left me,
The insanity.
in fucking winter in Alaska, Fuck. Golly. And I'm going to visit my kids. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow to go visit my kids. This journey is just, it's like, my expectations are unknown. I don't know what they are. I don't know if I have them. I don't know if I don't. Right now, I'm just going to be grateful to see my kids. And whatever we decide to do, we decide to do. Not me have a couple of cocktails and say, oh yeah, get your shoes on. We're going to a water park. We're gonna go up in the mountains. I'm not going to be watching my bank account and making sure I don't tap into my drinking money. This is a journey that I'm accepting. It's going to happen either way, right? But I'm accepting that it's going to be different. I don't have any idea which way it's going to go.
people were drinking, like with me, normal people say it's not the destination, it's the journey. An alcoholic says, screw the journey, I want the destination. When I walk into the bar, I want my shots, I want my beer. I don't want to build up to that level. I want that sense of ease and comfort that comes at once after a few drinks.
And why one shot? I know what you mean. I line them up.
And then I just want to maintain that, right?
It was never glass half full, half empty. It was always fill it fucking back up.
So, the book says numerous times that I'm an abnormal thinker, an abnormal person. I'm different than the average Joe because I can't stop drinking. I can't stop doing drugs on my own power. People can walk away from a beer. I cannot. I'll drink that beer because I paid for it. So now that we're trying to learn how to be normally, we're starting to see, wait, there's a journey to this. That means that, I don't know exactly where I'm going. I don't know how I'm going to get there. But that's part of the adventure, right? I mean, think about it. When you went on a vacation, right, and, let's say you're going to the beach. You get there, all of a sudden, cloudburst, raining cats and dogs. And then you get a flat tire. And then, you look and, one of y'all gets some mild food poisoning and you're stuck in the toilet, for a couple days.
At a bar.
Well, or at a bar.
Nope. But flat tire sits where it is.
Oh, then you go to the bar, right?
Raining,
okay.
I'm inside a bar. If I got the shits, I'm at a bar.
Yeah.
That's every vacation I've ever had.
But the average person will sit here and go, man, this is terrible. We planned all this. We're going to the beach, and now it's raining. We were going to go do this, and now there's a flat tire. But invariably, a year later, and you remember that jacked up vacation we went on? Oh, yeah, I remember that one. We had planned to go to the beach. There's no negativity associated with it. You're looking back and you're laughing your ass off. Man, we had that flat tire in the rain, and, while you were changing the thing, that car drove by and splashed that tidal wave on you, and you're like, Jesus Christ. It's funny now. But at the time, it wasn't, because we're all up in our shit. But if you get back to the serenity prayer, you can't change the rain. Got a flat tire. That's what happens to tires. They get flats. I ate something wrong because I was on vacation. I ate at a place that I'm not familiar with their menu, so I got the shits. All that stuff are unknowns.
One thing I did know is I'd be drinking.
Well, yeah, that's the destination part. I mean, it can rain all at once. I'm getting loaded.
Yeah, that's the journey part of where I'm at now. All I have a little bit of extra space in my life because I'm not gonna drink. I haven't been drinking. I'm not planning on drinking, and I know it sneaks up on you like a thief in the night. Fuck, it freaks me out. But
because people like to use that term. I slipped.
What?
When they say that they relapsed, I slipped. That's like saying, I was walking down the street minding my own business, and whoopsies, I landed in a bottle. That's an accident.
An accident is falling off the curb, losing your footing walking the curb.
Right.
That's an accident. I think my drinking actually doesn't start tomorrow or today. I think it starts about a week, maybe 3-4 days prior to that drink. I've already in my mind
relapses are built.
I've already figured it out. Somehow my brain is going to figure out how I can have a drink 4 days before I have a drink, and that scares the shit out of me because I used to plan my drinking about that far in advance.
Yeah, relapses are built over time. It says it in doctor's opinion. That's the thing. It's like this book right here, describes me to a T. And it says in there, I will look for some trivial reason to go get loaded. I've already been building up on this, right? The wife and kids, the job, the car, this, that, and everything else. And I've been doing all right, but I'm frantic in between my ears. Then I start throwing other stuff in there. Man, I'm not going to a meeting today. I'm in a bad mood. I don't want to see somebody. I went yesterday. That's good enough. And then something happens. You get a phone call from a telemarketer. That's it. I'm done. I can't deal with this shit no more. You weren't dealing with it to begin with. And eventually, one of those trivial reasons will be a wonderful reason to go get loaded.
Right now, I can't afford that luxury, and I'm sticking to what I've learned so far.
Good.
Like glue.
Good.
Like a rat on a shield.
You send me a message late at night asking me how I was doing. So, okay, I'll meet you. I don't do this because, like the AA spokesman.
Well, I know.
I do this because I want to stay alive.
Yeah, you're a person. A very important person. To me, you're a very important person. You might not feel that way, but you're, to me, a very important person. You're not Mr. AA to me.
I do it because I committed to doing this because I want to learn to live. And the book tells me on countless pages, if I'm going to live, first, I got to get out of my own head. It's a terrible playground. And the best way to do that, it says on numerous pages, is to find somebody to be helpful to. It says you don't even have to look far. Those are the exact words. You don't have to look far. They're everywhere. So I jump on those opportunities. You called me, hey, I'm done eating. Sure, I'll swing by on the way home. Am I tired? Yeah, I've been up here all day.
Yeah.
But what's more important to me? I'm going to sleep when I get home. That's a given. But you know what? I just helped somebody. So when I go to sleep, I'm going to feel pretty good. I don't recall hurting anybody today. I think I've done everything that I can to try to make my little world a little bit nicer. Hopefully I help somebody else in their little world. I don't know. I don't read minds anymore either. But I would stop what I was doing to help somebody that needed help, which is a drastic difference. Selfishly, I want sobriety. That's a given. What do I have to do to get that? This right here. And I'm going to keep doing this to the best of my ability as long as I possibly can. Because I know the alternative. I've seen it. I've lived it. Damn near killed me. Numerous times. I'm at, 16 days ago, when me and Matt first met you, we're like, man, hope we see you again. Bam, you're there at the next meeting. Now, it's like everybody can do this shit for one day, right? Then you're here the next day. That's impressive. As time goes by and you keep popping up in here, start noticing how many people say, oh man, I'm feeling great. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow. And then you don't see them again. You're one of the lucky ones. You made 15 days. There's all these little blessings, all these little things to be grateful for. In fact, you keep coming back. You had that newcomers meeting that nobody showed up for except for you and 3 other newcomers.
I haven't seen them.
You haven't seen them?
There's the one girl that was there in the meeting, and the 2 newcomers. She was ranting and raving about stuff, and they were brand new,
but y'all made a meeting happen.
Yeah.
to the best of your ability. So at least you put
I
forth the
haven't
effort.
seen them around,
Yeah.
but you know,
They may be going to other meetings.
yes,
They may have gone back out.
they might have not been an alcoholic.
And I've been an alcoholic. There's all sorts of might be's.
Maybe I shocked them into going, maybe I need some more looking at this. I don't drink like this guy. So maybe I'm not an alcoholic. Maybe I am, but maybe you're right. Maybe that one guy was moving. He's probably in Sugar Land going to meetings, you know. The other guy, he's probably,
That's the thing. That's,
you know,
that's outside
found
your
something else.
outside of your stuff.
Yeah,
You
I can hope for him.
You are still here. You are still putting forth the effort. You are still chasing sobriety. Even if you don't know what it looks like, how to attain it, you're coming in here and you're putting forth your best efforts.
I am.
You know.
I am.
So
Because I know what that bottle looks like sitting next to my rock glass and my ice. I know what that looks like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it smells like. I know everything. I know what it feels like.
So now you get to learn something new.
Yeah.
You don't know how it's going to turn out when you go see your kids.
Right.
So really all you can do is just suit up and show up.
Yeah.
And do what you can. You know, you got the meeting guide app.
Yeah.
So you can find a meeting.
That's what I'm going to do when I first get there. Find the closest one to me and I guess go and sit in the meeting and just like sit in the meeting here and I say, everybody in your first 29 days, I'll introduce myself.
All meeting places are different.
Oh, that's fine.
You may be treated like a celebrity. A lot of people out of state, when they come in here, everybody wants to talk to them, and it's like celebrity status. Oh, man, you from Katy, Texas? Man, and sometimes there'll be somebody, well, I was in Houston, you know, but that's the thing. That's what gets the ball rolling, you know. But, yeah, I mean, they're happy to see new people come in because it reminds them stuff is global, that there's a solution to be found everywhere. Sometimes you'll go looking for it, but sometimes it'll come to you. You may say some kind of nugget of knowledge that you picked up here and drop it off in Colorado. That's going to touch somebody else's life in a way you'll never know. Or you may pick up something over there
and bring back here.
Bring it back here and say, man, this one crazy dude with the long hippie hair, said this, and we'll be like, man, that's some good stuff. And then we now incorporate it into us. By ourselves, we will not succeed in defeating alcohol. If we could, we wouldn't be sitting in our chairs.
No, I read that there was like 19.5 million people in 2021 or something like that. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot more since then. Some of them went back out. Some of them died of natural causes. I call that graduating because they died sober at sober school. That's the only way you graduate from AA is you die sober. But think of all the lives that these people have touched. Even the ones who went back out and ding-donged it. Reminds me what I need to not do.
Yeah, we all go.
Right. So how do you want to go? I want to go knowing that I lived the best life that I could.
Yeah, and I want to go knowing that my relationship is aligned with God the same way that I want it aligned with my children, and yeah, I want it aligned, and I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to try, and I'm willing to do the best of my ability. Put in whatever you put in, you're gonna get out. So I'm anteing in on God, and I believe that He's like, you don't have to, bro. I've been here all along, and I'm pretty sure He has. And like when you keep saying it's within, I just need to let Him work for me. Like we talked about the potter's wheel.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, well, I got to know where the edges are. And I mean, for me, I guess that is a thing. The edge for me is you go over the edge, you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
And when you're centered, you're centered.